My bad. My bad. I was talking. My bad. My bad. My name is Crypto Millie, and every day I talk about crypto. If you missed the introduction, I was talking about crypto, and the show that we about to have today is full of alpha. Everybody hop in. Wise mind. I just turned my mic on. Everybody throw W's in the chat if you can hear me. Mic check, mic check. W's in the chat right now if you can hear me. W's in the chat. We've been going crazy on every platform: Twitch, Kick, X. I know y'all been seeing my crazy videos on X. You know what I mean? But today we got a show with some special guests, guys. So before I bring on the special guests, we got to talk about what's going on actually in the market. I'm waiting for a few more people to roll in because y'all don't want to miss this. This is gonna be jam packed with alpha. If you want to know if we gonna have an altcoin season, you want to watch this show. If you want to know when the next leg might come, you want to watch this show. If you want to know the best ecosystem to find AI plays, meme coins, and all your favorite altcoins, you want to watch this show. Let's get it. W's, y'all can hear me? Mike perfect. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. All right. So before we open up the floor to the guest, let's talk about what's going on inside the crypto market because I already know everybody want to know why the market is crashing. Millie, why the market is crashing? Y'all say altcoin season gonna happen. Why it's gonna happen in Q4? Millie, why the market is crashing? Well, if you do not know, we just got a jobs report out, and the revision of the jobs report was absolutely horrible. But there is I would like to say, shining light at the end of this tunnel. And according to the SEM Fed Watch tool, we now have a 83% chance of a Fed cut. So that means that Powell could have possibly been late. You probably seen my X video when I was talking about Powell being wrong, right? He could have possibly been late, but on the flip side, how I look at it, I always look at it like we living in a freaking psyop anyway. They probably watched that press conference like, oh, okay, Powell, you looking at the data? We got you on the data. Let's revise all the data since you're looking at the data. Now the data is telling him he must do a Fed cut. So for all of the people that's getting a little bit shook, you know what I'm saying, shook and having that post-dramatic stress and thinking like this is the end, we are closer to the end. I ain't gonna say that this is the beginning of whatever. A lot of new people and the TikTokers come on crypto. But at the end of the day, I feel like we do got one last massive leg, which could lead us into a possible altcoin rally. I don't want to call it altcoin season because y'all know the definition, but altcoin rally. So that was the news for the day. We had a terrible jobs report come out. Terrible. Like they revisit like the jobs they redid a revision by like hundreds of thousands of jobs. The unemployment went up, and this was after Powell came out there and said yesterday that the job market is looking strong, right? So they threw in a little bit of season, they threw in a little bit of sauce, and they said, hey, we about to change the job market, but. Let's get into the guests. Enough about this market, right? Because I like to hear other people's opinions. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I like to hear other people's opinions, and I want to see how everybody else think about the market. So I'm gonna introduce my guests one by one. First and foremost, let me move that out on the screen there. Let's bring Connor on chain. Connor, turn on your mic, good brother. Let's move that
All
banner
right.
so we can see you.
All right. What is going on? Yeah, bro. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. We gotta get everybody on here, man. You be having that base alpha. Actually, I got two guys that got the base alpha. Oh, y'all thought it was just Connor? I gotta bring
Thanks.
on my guy EA. EA, what's the
Yes, sir.
word, brother?
Yeah, what's good, guys?
What's up, man? What's
It's been a
up,
while
How you
since
man?
we
doing?
did a live stream, man.
Hey, it is what it is. You feel me? But like I said, I'm ready. I'm ready to hear some of that alpha. I'm ready to see how y'all feel about the market. How do y'all think that we gonna have an altcoin season? Before you answer that, we gotta bring in another superstar streamer on X, my dog, AOKG, the post chain Maxi. We got all types of sauce in here today.
Hey
AOKG, what's the
yo,
word?
man, you already know, man, big bro. I'm just chilling, soaking up the game, loving the market. You feel me? The ups and downs. Um, Not too much else.
Okay. Okay. All right. So Let's get the elephant out the room. Let's get the elephant out the room. I want to know from each person on the panel, right? Where do you think that we're currently at in the market, right? I mean, how do y'all feel about the next leg up? Do you believe that this is the top? Do you believe we got another leg coming? Do you believe that we are in a super cycle, as Marad would say? I just want to know how y'all feel about the market and a potential altcoin season this year or maybe the beginning of 2026.
Cool, cool.
I'm very bullish, bro. It seems like we're in a bear market right now, and just from seeing like Pump Fund, Post Chain, and everywhere else, even Base, it's like these CTOs are just dropping gems that nobody is really paying attention to, and it's you just gotta focus and get your mind off of everything that's going on because it's all a distraction at the end of the day. But I do feel like we're gonna get a strong altcoin season, and it's on the way, man. It's on the way. So y'all just load up, bro. Just load up, do what you've been doing, living your regular everyday life, and hopefully it all falls into our laps.
So I heard you throw a couple nuggets of CTOs and me.
As of right now, yeah, I'm like 90% risk on. So I'm trying to get my bag up, bro. Just I do have blue chips. That's one thing, bro. Like y'all gotta allocate yourself in blue chips and staking. That was my first method, and I'm still sticking with that. Whether it's Sol, Post, Base, Binance, it's something there. Even Tal, you got me looking at Tal. You feel me? So
Lock in,
it's
lock in.
it's a lot of strategies. It's a lot of strategies, but to keep it basic, just get your blue chips in order. Like get that native gas token first. Get that popular swap token. Where you have to use it in order to buy meme coins because it will appreciate in value over time. But other than that, we got pump tokens, we got bonk, we got pump tires. We got ICP. It's so much going on. You, and like even with media, right? It's final. But everybody that's here, you're chosen, bro. You're gonna make it. You feel me? If you was buying BTC at 15K back in 2023 when Sam Bankman-Fried crashed the market, you're a winner. Absolute W. Even with Ethereum, right? We seeing Ethereum pump, even the legacy tokens, those
Big
dinosaur
bet.
tokens. So I don't want to take up too much time.
No,
I
no.
just asked
I want to hear.
my
Let me
vibe.
hear my boy EA because I know he's not really a meme coin person, but I want to know how he feels about this where we're at in the market, where we could possibly go, and what he specifically is looking at.
F the memes. But let me say this. I do think that right now, as Carton said, we're definitely going to get a nice little September and October. I don't believe in a traditional altcoin season that everyone is praying for. It's been shown the whole time. We're just going to be having narratives this whole time. And that's where you're pretty much going to get the altcoin season is if you follow the certain narratives that's going on as of right now. So right now, you guys are probably seeing it. It's base season. Honestly, anything that's happening on base, Coinbase, they're running. So if you focus on the right narratives, of course, things could change when the entire um, Bitcoin goes back up again. You can see something like RWAs, DPIN all start to show up again. But the main focus of this cycle so far has been AI and it hasn't changed at all this whole time. So that for me is me.
Let's go.
I'm focused on base and AI since if you guys go look at my channel, I've been talking about base since Aerodrome. So I've been focused on base. I've been focused on AI, RWAs, and DPIN. Those have been my whole thing this whole cycle, and that's pretty much all I gotta say.
Nah, I'm huge on AI. I'm a big fan of. I like what they're doing on base. I'm in and out of different places. I ain't gonna cap to you. You feel me? Million Solana Tau, and you know what I'm saying. Whenever I do want to know something about base, I always go check out you and Connor's channel, or just hit you up personally. Like, you know what I'm saying? What y'all looking at
I
base?
could I could
But
answer Kevin though. I'm
what?
never salty about memes. I actually hit on one of the biggest memes this cycle, Genon. I'm not salty about memes. I just don't have the time that I'm going to be sitting at the desk to look at the next meme at 10K and hoping that it runs to like a million. I think me and you had this conversation on my channel. where we went in depth about the whole meme conversation. So Millie already knows how I feel about memes. If I catch it early, I'm good. If I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if it's like already at 1 million, man, I'm gonna let y'all have it. Go ahead, chase
It's
it.
look,
Let
look.
everybody else go into it.
To be fair, it still be some hitters at a Millie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My boy kind of on chain tapped in with Aura, Mog, and all of them shits
Oh no,
past the
yeah.
Millie, and they went explosive. And I didn't
It's
call it, you know what I'm saying? Couple hitters after 1 million. So just to be transparent to the crowd out there that think that you can make money after $1 million on meme coins, you can. You can.
no, I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying it's the gamble. It's
Right.
honestly the gamble that I don't have time for
You
to
know,
just sit there and just be like, yo, could this be the meme that goes from 1 million to 100 million? When the next day a new meme is going to come out, people are going to chase that one. So I'd rather just go into some things that are building as of right now that I could just park the money for a little bit and just
that's
let it run. That's
I,
it.
I heard you say something that caught my attention, right? You were saying that it has been an altcoin season. It just looked different. We had bubbles, we had narratives. I've got into it with bigger YouTubers. I've even got blocked by bigger YouTubers because I've been on, you know what I'm saying? I've always said like if you didn't make any money in altcoin season, then you bought the wrong coins. They always hit me with, well, technically ETH has to hit all-time high. Bitcoin dominance has to hit 58%. We need to be in QE for the definition of altcoin season. But you kind of like agree where I came, where I was coming from. Like there were bubbles, there were narratives, and there were opportunities. How do you feel about the people that say altcoin season never happened?
My bad, I was on mute. But again, it goes actually when you go look at the altcoin season chart, it actually already happened. It lasted for just a quick second. That was like around at November time last year. November time. That's when
I would argue even before that.
yeah,
We got into
everyone
you
exactly.
remember we was gem hunting them AIs. The base had a season where all the Pepe narrative stuff went crazy. I
November
mean,
is
like,
where it peaked, and
yeah,
essentially you
facts.
looked at pretty much all the AI went crazy at that time. You could have said we was in the altcoin season then, but the focus was primarily on AI at that same exact time. So that's what I mean by like narratives this whole time. This whole cycle has not been the same as the previous cycle, as you can see. Some people, you've seen it already with Bitcoin hitting all time high before halving, right? So that already lets you know that this cycle is going to be much different from previous cycle. That could mean it could be an extended cycle, or it could just stay the same, but just with some slight differences here and there. That's it.
Connor, what you got on this, good brother?
Yeah, bro. A few things. So to answer your initial question, yeah, going forward, I personally am still very bullish. I am in the camp where I think ETH is going to lead everything here. As I know, EA, you're kind of talking about how we may not have some sort of crazy alt season anywhere or going forward. I think if that will happen within the next couple months, I'm very bullish. As we get towards the end of the year, I'm not in the camp that we got a super cycle happening. I think it's going to play out very similarly to the past, but not as far as altcoin gains. I agree with you in a sense where we definitely will see a lot of rotation happening. But I think when I was saying with ETH, if ETH is going to 4K, 5K, especially breaking its all time high, if that's possible for it, that I think is going to trigger a lot that people aren't really thinking about right now. I think we will see a ton of coins across the board start going flying. It's not going to be every coin, like at all, not even close, but that's where I'm in the camp. Very short term, I'm bullish. Longer term, I'm kind of questioning that. I don't think we got a super cycle. But it's funny you don't like memes, which is fine, bro, and that's totally fine because I see you killing it with utility. Very solid. But yeah, me personally, I love both memes, both AI, utility. I kind of play the market. I guess I don't want to say in a different way, but I like to focus on that stuff long term. And for me, I personally look at memes with time tested communities almost as a safer bet than a lot of utility plays.
Uh-oh.
Sounds weird, but I,
I've
I
heard that before.
my bad. Go ahead.
No.
Really?
This is an interesting conversation because over the last 2 to 3 years, outside of AI, you can say that meme coins have outperformed almost every narrative, every sector,
Agree.
which definitely brings me to my next question in this Q4 as y'all, because for the most part, everyone's kind of agreeing that we are at closer to the end than the beginning. Which narratives have y'all kind of concentrated to?
Yeah, you guys can go first.
Yeah, I'll let KG go.
You on the mic, Ayo?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so at narrative wise, as in like, um, give me a topic, like give me
So for instance,
a starter.
I'm AI memes and RWA. Those are my like top
Mm-hmm.
three narratives, and throw me a layer one that I can play around in, like Tau, where I can kind of like flip subnets and do little passive incomes, earn APY. So that's kind of like where my mind is. As far as narratives or ecosystems, I would love to know where y'all minds at.
Okay, so chat, I'm finna bless y'all game. All right, real talk. So as far as memes, okay, when EA said, fudge memes, I do want to be very, very careful with it, right? Because a lot of y'all can get trapped up in the hype. So, you have to do your research thoroughly. As far as the trend, I would say look at, PayPay. I'm looking for PayPay tokens that can pump. I'm looking for Bonk tokens that can pump. Because like Connor said, they do have strong communities and they just carry, bro. If you can get in, like Big Bro Millie said, at a 4.5K market cap, or like 4.5 liquidity or 10K in liquidity, and you grab you 1%, 3%, bro, you're gonna skyrocket. And it's just all about having the funds to just get that bag and then just ride it out, just wait it out because it's going to be trending on Twitter. That's another thing. Watching trends on Twitter, if you don't have time for it, it's totally fine. Just grab some blue chips. You know what I'm saying? Grab you some souls, stake it, DCA in over time, you're gonna make it, you know. So it's really not that hard. And then one of the most my riskiest plays that I've been watching for 2 years is post chain. So it's just that whole copy of Ethereum. That's what post chain is. I know a lot of people don't like it, but guess what? Richard Hart beat the FCC. I was right the whole time. It's that simple. If you want to onboard through post chain, we got Internet Money Wallet, right? And with Internet Money Wallet, that's a utility itself. So I'm stealing memes and utility and taking high risk plays, right? Very versatile portfolio for all y'all out there. So with the Internet Money Wallet, they have a token called Time. And as people swap and buy, if you own Time, you're receiving dividends. Literally, I can open up my phone and show you like you can claim your dividends depending on your portion that you own on post chain or ETH. It's forked to different uh, blockchains, so it gets real intricate at that point in time. But using Internet Money Wallet, not only if you hold time and you getting those dividends, guess what? You're burning tokens. You're burning Post. You're burning Post X. Post is the gas, and then the native gas fee, and then Post X is the swap. So it's just helping it appreciate even more over time. And another thing, Post is a copy of Ethereum. So everything that's on Ethereum is on Post chain, but it's cheaper and it was built to do a 10,000x. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen from all of those hexagons, right? That sacrificed all that Ethereum. Eventually, hopefully, all of that gets onboarded into onto Post chain, and boom, you got magnificent gains. That's
I
unbelievable.
have seen every time ETH pumps, Hex, Post Chain, like the triple
Yes,
threat does
sir.
pump. I don't personally know too much about that ecosystem. Like I said, when I
Yeah.
refer to Connor or EA about base, I refer to you about Post Chain and Hex. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because that's something that you're
So
into. As far as like your thesis, what sells you on that ecosystem opposed to the other ecosystems?
Hmm. I would say the developers behind each project, that have been building consistently. Like you said, if you see something trading sideways in a bear market, the devs could be back there just building, upgrading, doing whatever that they do. They just deving, right? And that leads to a lot of speculation. But what are we in crypto for? You know what I'm saying? We're all taking, educated gambles.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
seeing it build over time. Even one more token that I want to talk about is Logan. I watched the on-chain data. I watched the burns increase. I watched the LP build up, decrease, and then that go into the burn. So that signified benevolence right there. And from that point of time, From that
That's
at,
what's up.
at, at that point in time, thank you, Fat Sugar. That's my sidekick, y'all. So at that point in time, that was very significant to me just to watch the Burns and the LP build up and the Dev just Devin because you never really know, y'all. So yeah, that's what got me hung up on that factor. Richard Hart, the whole community, like Connor said, like the meme coin community. Once you see that and them pushing and promoting it and just you know fighting for that spot on the charts, it's an eye opener. You feel me? You just gotta
Yeah,
jump
I
in,
agree.
hold something, and you'll see it. It'll move you. You'll understand it. You'll be able to articulate that after a while of just being in the game. Just got to get in and play. Simple.
Yeah.
EA, what you got on these narratives and going into Q4, man? What are you most focused on?
Simple, simple, simple. Base. Just like AOKG said, Richard Hart beat the SEC. Guess who else beat the SEC? Brian. It's simple. And now they're working all hand in hand, right? Amazon, they calling Base the Amazon chain. It's a
Mm,
from the beginning since I said it, Base is a better BNB than last cycle. They learned from what BNB and Binance did, and now are doing much better. Right? They're bringing the whole retail users, bringing everything, base mini apps, everything you can see. The hype is going to base. Now, when you want to go specifically into niches, into the base ecosystem, solely focused on AI, nothing but AI on there. Of course, there's going to be some other runners like gaming. I see Meta Arcade run. You're going to have RWAs, of course. You're going to have DPIN. You're going to have these other infrastructure plays that's definitely going to run on the base ecosystem. But primarily, I think AI is going to be the huge winner of everything on base.
yeah,
And to actually answer that, because I did see that, I actually think memes do more harm to crypto overall as a whole than it does good. Of course, because that's where the most rugs is going to be, right? And when you go onto TikTok, me and you, Millie, we had this whole conversation. Well, I think we had like an hour conversation on this. The new retail investors that come in here, they're looking for quick flips. They're looking for the next 10K banger to like 1 million. They want to throw $100, turn it into 10,000 somehow, right?
look,
So
look, look, look. Not to interrupt you, right?
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
It was hard for me to just let that one slide, right? Because I feel like when a utility coin rugs, it hurts far more than a meme coin.
No,
Like
it does.
meme,
It
meme
does.
coins rug all the time, but when we get utility rugs,
Yeah,
them shit ripple the entire market. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So like
That's true.
it really, and we've all seen Celsius, Voyager, Terra Luna Classic. I can keep going, and even the ones that's just happening recently with the recently hacks, right? Um, my thing is right. I like base because I think when normies and retail come back to crypto, you want to have the exchange that is going to pick up the most retail, right? And you gotta look at it like, okay, we can look at something like Robinhood because they're trying to compete now with adding all these new tokens. Then you look at Coinbase and then you look at crypto.com. It's really between Coinbase and crypto.com. When you introduce somebody to crypto, right? Are they going to download Coinbase first, crypto.com? They probably pick Coinbase, right? And now Coinbase is integrating all of these really, really good tokens where really, really good builders, really, really good developers. And these tokens sometimes have small market caps. I mean, you guys have called Zora and all of these tokens, man. And now they're getting integrated within Coinbase. It's like Coinbase picking up the little guys and making people wealthy. So I like where Coinbase sits. I just think there's a world for attention economy, tokenization. Everything's going to be tokenized, right? So if you could tokenize a phrase, aura, you could tokenize a tweet. You know, the
True.
president has tokenized himself, right? I mean, how can we stop it? How can we stop memes at this point? At this point, EA, you gotta accept it. You gotta accept it. You gotta come to the dark side. I'm
I'm
messing
not.
with
I'm not. I'm not saying I don't accept
And
it.
join us, bro.
I'm not saying I don't accept it at this point in time. Of course, there's going to be some like some phrases that's going to be tokenized that's going to make people millions and shit like that.
you. What
Sorry if
is
I
Zora
can't curse on
doing?
it.
What
Hold
is
on.
Zora
I'm not.
doing?
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I was on TikTok, right? I'm on TikTok. I see the big streamer XQDC or whatever his name is about the whole face banks thing, right? because you know how Face Bank essentially got in trouble with MLG token and things like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is why I say it caused a lot more harm, is because people outside of here don't actually know the how to I can never say the word right, but to create the difference between altcoins as a whole and crypto. So in this person's video, he's calling all it's a scam, right? So I'm in the comment section. I'm saying essentially, because he's saying essentially they have no utility, and I'm arguing with them. I'm saying essentially you could say the same thing about stocks, right?
Right.
But they keep bringing up memes, and I'm like, you have to. It's not the same. You when you talk about altcoins as a whole, right? And that's different from talking about just memes. Most people that come into here to this crypto space are just investing into memes. Then you bunch them all together. Now that causes crypto as a whole harm. That's what I meant. I'm not saying there's not going to be no good meme coins that's going to make you some money. I'm not saying meme coin community is bad. It's it's just the overall how it's becoming more encompassing over the entire altcoin thing. That's what I mean.
It's like the mind share of memes has taken over to where that's the first thing somebody thinks about. I don't
Exactly.
yeah, it sucks, right? Because you got really good, really good coins. Like Tau ecosystem, for example, is a perfect example, right? Where those devs pay thousands of dollars to hold a slot, right? I think we missed those days where it really took time to code a token. It's not just free and you just do it. But like they get so overlooked. We I was talking about to a dev and he was saying like how shoots, would be worth billions of dollars right now if it wasn't under Tau, right? But we got so much dilution in crypto to where the memes they steal so much of the liquidity from real builders and real utility. So I feel that shit, bro. I agree 110%. That MLG was I don't even want to get into that because
And dilution is another point right then and there.
yeah,
You just said it right there.
yeah.
People are going to the more we keep going in this cycle, memes is not going anywhere. That's not going to stop. So that means the overall as of right now,
Okay,
you
but
can
we
see
gotta
what
stop
utility.
saying memes. We gotta stop saying memes, EA. We gotta say tokenization because that's where we're at this point.
Nah, see, I understand why you say tokenization, but I'm never going to call memes a tokenized token. They're just what it is. It's just a
But
meme
you're
or a
tokenized.
phrase that's just been tokenized, but it's still based around the community. It's not. If once
Yeah.
you say tokenized, you're trying to change the narrative for it. But
No,
that's
no,
going to
no,
be for
no,
another
no,
time.
no,
No, no, no, no. That's another discussion. That's
no,
another
no, no.
discussion.
We gotta keep this. We cooking right
Oh
now.
my
No, we
god, I don't
cooking
want to
right now.
go into that
Oh
one.
no, no. You
Yeah, keep
started
We
it.
gotta
cooking,
let we
keep
gotta let
cooking, bro.
All right,
we gotta
all right.
let
You
Connor go. We gotta let
Connor,
Connor
Connor,
go.
let Connor, Connor,
Facts,
Connor, let
facts,
Connor, Connor.
facts.
Let's hear what you got on
Yeah,
this.
all right. That is, yo, you guys got a good debate right now. But yeah, no, I mean, the thing is too is I feel like I'm literally in a mix of both. 'Cause for me, I love meme coins. I think I've been a meme bull and AI. Personally, that's all I focus on right now. Because at least like current narratives, I know that are going to take off and run. Only things that have performed mainly has been memes and AI. It's what I continue to do. Meme coins I love because I think they are legitimately fun. I'm personally not trenching like every single minute. That's something that I really like to do is I just look for coins that have been out for a while. If they're bottomed out, if their community's popping, things like that. And it's like I will bull post coins for weeks, for months. It's something where it's like I build conviction, run with it. I think strong meme coins, like actual cults, there are not actually a lot of them. The more meme coins that launch and rug and die out, it actually creates there's even less and less cults with real communities that go on. And I think if people finally end up finding a cult, something they can hold and believe in, those are the ones that do take off. And sometimes it takes a while, a few weeks, months. But then yeah, on the flip side too, utility for me, I think mainly AI. AI has just been incredibly dominant this whole cycle. And like I said, I don't think it's going to stop. And Millie's too. I know you cover a lot of subnets with BitTensor. BitTensor, literally one of my favorite AI coins. The ecosystem underneath, I think, is absolutely killer. But I totally agree with what you're saying there too. It's like memes as far as like the trenches and having coins just launching thousands a day. And now we got, Pump versus Bonk versus Jupiter versus Orca versus 25 launch
Yep,
pads. It's
yep.
kind of just been launch pads themselves have been like a narrative to be focused on too. But it's just the more, I feel like it's just retail and anyone coming in. It's like that's just one major angle that people are now getting accustomed to because it's so normalized right now in crypto. But what I was saying though is for utility, it's like, you got unbelievable projects being built that have been being built on BitTensor, tons of subnets, and I mean, it's like even you got a ton of old OG projects building some great stuff still, like on ETH, on different chains. They just don't get that attention though because, right, of the dilution because of
Yeah.
all the coins launching, and it's just a whole different game now when it comes down to, I guess, the trenches and where the market is at the moment. But I think there's still a lot of opportunity regardless. And yeah, like you guys are saying too, Base is still one of my favorite chains right now because I like to play on Base, ETH, and Sol. Base, the way the charts move, the way these coins run, so PVE, it's so different. ETH mainnet is very slow. If you're
Yeah.
getting into new launches, like I actually like it though because you can buy something, let it run for 2 weeks, not even look at it if it's a good sentiment. And if it's a good coin, you'll be up. You can sleep at night. Soul is a nightmare trying to trade. You
Don't
can't
try
do
that.
that.
Don't try that on don't try that at home, chat. So don't try that
Yeah,
at
no, bro.
home.
You try to buy something on Soul within 8 minutes, you're down. You thought it was the next big runner. It is
Or
what
you
it
up.
is.
Or you up, depending on how you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, or yeah, it's up
Hey, you
five
gotta
hours.
catch the bottoms, bro.
Yo,
You
trench is
feel me?
Exactly. Yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
bro.
Like you don't
Look,
catch
I
the bottom, bro.
remember,
It's a long way
bro.
down. It's
I
a
used to
slippery
love
slope, Chet.
I used to love
That's
trenching
true,
on
bro.
base,
Yeah.
bro. Like I used to love trenching on base. Like when that Matt Fury narrative was
Yes,
popping,
dude.
base you can buy a coin, hold like you just said, and hold it, bro. And it'll run to 2, 3, 4 million, and you get into it 20, 30K. I don't know when
Yeah,
base had
base is
slowed up,
nuts.
but it seemed like it pivot more to like I think it was virtuals. When virtuals started popping, and I blame EA.
Whoa, whoa,
Virtuals
whoa,
took all of
whoa,
the
whoa!
mind share in liquidity from the base memes. It
Hold
just
up,
took
now.
over. AI agents just took over on base, and it's been like that ever since. Like good AI applications do very, very well on base.
To that
Um,
note, I do want to say the switch is going to Zora now. Connor already knows. Creator Coins is about to be the Zora video I made. I essentially compared Zora and its ecosystem to Virtual's and Virtual's ecosystem with AI agents. As Zora starts to become more and more and more popular, like once it hits that like 1 billion, 2 billion, now people are going to start to look into the ecosystem more than they're going to look into Zora, start to look into these creator coins. And like, let's say we get one of these, let's say you get Kaisen Net that drops a creator coin on
Mhm.
Zora somehow. I don't know what type of connections Brian and them got over there, but they get Kaisen Net to drop a creator coin. Boom. That whole ecosystem just explodes because
yeah,
now you're going to have the
Exactly.
rest of the whole streaming community creating coins. That's pretty much what people wanted to do around the whole social network
but that's what Pump
narrative
was
with Friend
pivoting.
Tech,
You know what I'm saying?
Friend Tech, and all of those. That's what they was trying to get to, and now it looks like Zora is actually going to get to it with the help of Base.
Bro, yeah.
I think that's what Pump is trying to do. They're trying to turn into a streaming platform, but they don't know how to get people to watch the streams. I think they need to focus per se on the marketing with the streaming aspect opposed to like the launchpad aspect. But that's what they're trying to kind of like move to as a competitor to Kick and Twitch. And like it seems, as you would say, that Zora is a little bit further along in that journey than Pump is. And you're right. If they get some big dogs to base, it'll be pretty good. The only thing is we gotta ask ourselves because we've seen celebrity coins and all this shit. Will it be sustainable? But before we get into that, I just seen a comment here. It says, by the way, the new bubble will be all the new treasury companies when their products go down. I think Crypto Banter was talking about like all of these micro strategy type companies that's doing this for altcoins. Well, I'm saying that to say this. When do y'all think the actual bubble will pop? What's your time frame for exit strategies, and when do you plan on exiting the market?
That's a great question. I've been thinking about this a lot personally. And like I said earlier, I am very bullish, but I want to say very short term. Because like I also said, I don't think we're going to be in this super cycle. If it happens, it happens. But I think it's going to play out similarly to where, we could actually top out within the next couple months. And I think it's very likely that we do. Maybe if we don't top out, maybe we just hit some sort of point where we really start correcting. But for me personally, I have exit strategies kind of based on where ETH is sitting, and if things decide to really start running, I think if Ethereum over the next couple months, it's kind of my main thesis. If ETH is going to 4K, 5K, if we see it breaking higher in the next few months, that is going to be a main part of just looking to start taking profits out of the market. Um, that's that's probably like one of the biggest things for me to be looking at for any sort of exit, because if within the next can't even talk today, my bad. Within ETH, within the next few months, if it doesn't perform and it's not actually pushing, it's not breaking into new levels, then that's going to be something very, very concerning, probably for the entire market. So, literally, the next 3 to 4 months, if we don't see a break in ETH, that's going to be a time where we either cut it or we see things really take off.
I agree.
I'm
It's
looking at it.
crazy because on my channel, I've been saying this since this cycle started. I'm out by
Yeah.
October. I've learned my lesson. By
Yep.
October, I am fully out, and I'm gonna assess where the market is going from there. Right.
Yep.
I already round trip 200 plus X's in November. Got screwed. Right now, I'm riding on another good wave. I'm good. The X's I got right now, I'm smooth. So October, I could take all my money, put it in USDT, chill for a little bit, see what the market does, and then if there's a extended cycle, I don't think we're going to get that. I think we're actually going to follow that 4-year cycle, even though it's a little different. If we do get an extended cycle, I can still have some USDT to put into some altcoins that may do 2-3x from there, and I'll be happy. My goal is already hit. I've been chilling. I've been taking trips, so I'm good. October, I'm out.
Okay. Hey, yo, KG.
For me, man, I got my price targets. So I've just learned to sit on my hands. You know, if I don't get the X's I want, I'm just gonna round trip it, bro. Especially with my original investment. I put in a big bag. I,
I'm
I
just going around tripping, bro.
yeah,
Crypto
yeah,
playground
yeah.
like set a trail and stop, bro.
Yeah.
Do something,
Thanks.
nigga. Stop loss. Stop
Hey,
loss.
hey, everybody in the chat know me, man. I never sell, bro. So it's I don't know. I just look long term. I feel like I'm like every time I plan or I see the market go up, it's just like I never feel like it's really enough, especially on something that has a strong community. Um, whether that takes 2 more years, 4 years, 5 years, I'm willing to sit it out, especially on blue chips. Now, as far as memes and ETH, heck nah. Like I'm done with that. When Shiba Inu pump, I'm taking profits, bro. I'm not gonna wait that out because like ETH is kind of slow when it comes to memes. When it comes to Solana meme coins, right? Like I said, y'all, I set my price targets because I got like 1% allocated in multiple different memes that I have very high conviction for. Not like my life depend on it, but let's say if out of 10 tokens that I hold, right? Um, if one goes to a 25K market cap, 50K market cap, 75K market cap, 1 million market cap, I'll be able to extract profits from those meme coins. And post chain, hey man, it was built to do a 10,000x. I'm expecting a 20x, no less than a 200x on what I put in. So that's my ultimatum right there, bro. I'm sticking to my method. I believe in it. And like I said, I feel like it's short term. I feel like me just taking profits on a 4 or 5x is just not good enough, bro. I got in at the bottom under sack, bro. I got in a bear market. I'm a big dog, you know what I'm saying? When them prices really pump, when the crowd comes, then I'll sell it to them for 100x more. Then you can have it, but I'm not gonna give it to you for 15. Hell no, hell no. I've been a believer for 2 years. Yeah, you gonna take care of me. You
Look,
gonna
look. If I don't know if y'all ever made content on TikTok, but if you made content on TikTok, it's totally different
I
from
stop.
YouTube.
I stop.
So,
I
so yeah,
stop.
you already know where I'm
Stop,
going.
bro.
We've been here, and I think everybody in this panel been here since June 2022. I'm guessing you have too, Connor, but I know these guys have. June
In crypto,
2022.
yes, but not on YouTube though.
No, that's what I'm saying in crypto. right? So we've
Oh
been
yeah,
here
yeah.
since basically we've been here since Bitcoin 15K. Like we've seen Bitcoin go from 15K to 120K. So it's hard talking to people on TikTok about this being the beginning of the end, right? My thesis aligns with y'all thesis, right? We somewhere between 530 and 550 days post halving the peak. That's the top of Bitcoin, right? Usually, I think what happens is people get Bitcoins in the altcoin peak confused, right? When Bitcoin peaks, we still got another 30 to 90 days before our altcoins peak, right? So generally speaking, I think when I looked at when I look at my chart and I think about EA's thesis, I don't know if I want to be all the way out by October, but I am preparing to my exit strategies for my altcoins because I think Bitcoin will peak first, and then we'll see that ETH run and whatever that the dreamy altcoin season that we want. But
Yeah.
I don't think we go past Q1. You know what I mean? I think like
Yeah.
Q4. You know what I mean? The problem is that I don't know how y'all feel about the catalyst that we have. Like, how do y'all feel about these new crypto laws, potential 401k money, allowing people to pay mortgages with crypto, all these crypto cards and stable coins? Is that a fair and valid reason to believe that we can have a 5 year cycle or super cycle or a good 2026? It's hard for me to believe we're gonna have it, but
I, I
I don't know.
I think it's possible. We're just building brick by brick, you know, and it takes time, but over time, if you just be careful with what you take out, right? Just keep a 9 to 5, bro. I got a 9 to 5. I streamed yesterday, me and my 9 to 5, right? So it's all an adventure, but over time you'll get that 5x, that 10x, that 20x, and you'll get that, you know, that higher low when it comes to a floor. But it'll all equal up in the long run. If you would have just held, you would have got more out of it. Same way with Bitcoin. You know,
I'm
it's people that
saying, do you believe 2026 is going to be a good year for crypto, or are we
yes.
cooked?
Yes, my mother-in-law is talking about Bitcoin and you know taking the kids down to the bank to invest in Bitcoin. And I'm like, yo, it's worth 6 figures, but it's happening. It's the devs are deving, bro. It's slowly building. Do I like it? No, I don't like the centralization of it. I'm totally against it. I like the decentralized format of it. You know, not being able to be shut off from my funds and everything just being tracked. It's
Same
ridiculous.
4 year
I want my
cycle.
privacy and I don't too much care for taxes.
Look, Aztec. You already know I'm big on that chart, right? I go by historical data, and this is why I understand what EA is saying, right? Yeah, this is. But when we look at that post halving to peak, we're looking at the Bitcoin chart. We're not looking at like total three. Like you gotta look at total three. You gotta look at total two. You gotta look at the others chart and see post halving to that peak for the altcoins. But yeah, EA. So you think 2026 is cooked?
I wouldn't say fully cooked, like y'all all said. Yeah, there's a lot of building going on, but I've been here since 2016,
Right, right.
and I understand once you get to the end, it's hard to believe you at the end. You
That's facts, dog.
like we're already going to start to see these crazy price targets as of right now, right? People are now giving it 140. People are now going from 140 to 170 to 200, right? Once you start to hear these crazy price targets, just know we're almost at the end. We're almost at the end. And there's going to be a lot of people that's just going to continue giving you these price targets, but you're going to have to do what's best for yourself. Exactly why I said by October, I am really out. I don't care. I'll assess everything after that.
So you
All right.
don't think
I've learned my
none of the
lesson
stuff
two
that's been
times now.
happening you don't think none of the stuff that's just been happening from a law legislation
No,
standpoint is going to help?
it's gonna help, but that doesn't mean it's just gonna automatically translate to the price
Okay.
and not change what's already been going on, right? So all this building that's happening, of course, OTC that's running out of BTC and things like that. Of course, that could change things. But in my thesis, I'm just gonna play it safe for where I got some of these. I got, like I said, I got these good X's. I don't need to keep wishing and wishing that Bitcoin goes higher and higher for me to get more and more. Like I said, I've gotten greedy where I lost out on some huge gains. Now I don't need to really be more rushed into like, yeah, Bitcoin go higher, Ethereum go higher, go higher. Yeah, these altars now going to go high. No, I can set my date, get out, wait to see how everything plays out. Shit, man, I may even go back in the market with like 10K and see if I can flip 10K. That's it.
What about the people that didn't make the moves like we made, right? Like we rotated into AI. We understood RWA. We killed the gaming narrative in 2023. Like what about the people that just held these their old 2021 coins and they just believed that they was going to have an altcoin season? Like what do you say to those people?
You think I'm supposed to feel any type of way for them? I ain't gonna lie. This is PvP, man. If you just gonna continue listening to everybody and not feeling like you gotta do what's best for yourself, you done messed up. I already told you I've been in this cycle for 2016. I've seen people listen to Superman to the death of their portfolio. I've seen people listen to what was it, BitBoy to the death of their portfolio. I've seen it going through every cycle of YouTubers since I've been here, right? Once you do what's best for you could be 10x. Best for you could be 5x. Best for you could be 50x, whatever it is. If you're even close to it, just reassess your situation after you take those profits. Because profits is profits. 100K could change your life. 50K could change your life. Depending on where you at in this world, hey, or your situation in real life, you could change your life with 10K. But you just gotta keep that money to stay in the game, because the longer you're in the game, the more profits you can make later on. So instead of losing out 50% of that 10K and it's now 5K, you could have a full 10K, reassess, and once the market, like let's say we have an extended market, sure you're gonna lose out on some gains right then and there, but now you know we're in an extended market. Now you can play it safer, get into safe altcoins, and double that. That's just how I see it, though.
Connor, do you feel like the catalyst, the attention economy, what you're seeing happen as far as legislate? Do you believe that this helps the super cycle thesis?
Yeah, I think it definitely does help, but I think the markets, especially in crypto, being an attention economy, very much so rely on emotions. And if I really still think we're going to see something like every cycle we've seen before, I think once Bitcoin, if and when it tops out, I know there is a lot of institutional demand, which is what's different. Um, but I still think things are going to play out similarly to previous times, where once things start to really get bad, whether it's Bitcoin starting to dump, not making another high, things going down, even with all this good news and stuff, I think things at some point will definitely take a very bad turn. I'm not saying it 2026 is cooked, but I think it can help it, but I still don't think it's going to.
Hey, yo, chat. They say in the treasury, they saying all the treasury companies are gonna get liquidated, and it's
Yeah,
going to be ugly. Like
Yeah, we've been
all
due,
you
Why
we've
they
been due
dip?
for a crazy crash for a
Why they
minute.
dip?
I don't know when that's going to happen, but
bro. Tell the TikTokers.
yeah,
I
no,
try to
I
tell the
don't know.
TikTokers that they almost banned me off TikTok content, bro. They said I'm too
listen, I
bitter.
stopped uploading on
No
TikTok. You'll
way.
find my profile there. You'll see when the last time I uploaded something there.
Oh
But I
man.
All right,
stopped uploading there because they just focus on memes. I wasn't getting the views. I was like, I would just stick to YouTube, man.
bro. All
Yeah,
right, we
really.
getting a lot of Fed cut is the catalyst. QE people, global M2 chart experts. Okay, we getting a lot of that. You know what crypto Twitter brings. All right, so this is the best part. This is the best part where I put the pressure on the panel. Panel, I got the most important question of, and they gonna book stamp this. They gonna run it back. They gonna clip farm this. They gonna do whatever. Everybody on the panel, I want to know your top 5 altcoins going into this potential last leg of the cycle.
Cool.
Soul, post chain.
Are we doing market cap specific or just overall?
Like beat. Come on now, y'all know y'all not buying all blue chips. Like, give me your top
I
5. You got
I'm just
most
checking. You
conviction
feel
on.
me?
No,
I'm
no,
not
don't come
buying it.
on
I'm
here and
just
talk
checking.
about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that
Man,
shit.
man.
Let me know what y'all really buying.
I don't want to let out my playbook, dog. I've been grinding. I want to
Nah,
tell
for
y'all
me it's
after
simple.
it.
I ain't gonna lie, it's simple. I don't need a. For me, it's simple. Let's say the top 5 is already showing what's going on with base, right? So we're looking at base. I've been telling you guys what I'm focused on. Zora, number 1 for the rest, right? You're gonna have Banker. Banker now is starting to catch some hype now after they just got listed on Coinbase. That's two. Giza, I'm still about the whole agentic economy. As that continues to build, AI agents are still going to be around. I used to want to say virtuals. I'm not going to lie to you. If this was like maybe a few months ago, I would have said virtuals. But virtuals have been playing too many games. So I cut them out. I still hold them, but I cut them out. All right. So now from virtuals, I go to Plume. Plume, that's RWAs, right? They got the whole connections already with the United States and things like that. And then my overall safest right now that I feel like we can definitely do some decent funds for. Decent funds is what's the name? Hold on, let me go to my portfolio real quick. I gotta remember the name.
You go into that one portfolio on the back end.
Yeah, you know,
His,
it's a small one. It's a small one. It's not too crazy.
his seventh wallet. It's his seventh wallet, y'all.
Nah, I got peak out there. I'm hoping for the best.
That's a good one. That's on my list.
I got the hoping, but once again, I don't know if DPIN is going to play itself out the way I think it's going to play out. At least
So
this
hold on,
cycle.
hold on. Peak or stuff within the peak ecosystem?
No, peak.
Just peak, okay.
Peak. I've also invested into a bunch of the ecosystem plays, so I already got exposure there. But
Okay.
talking about overall peak, because
Okay.
I already, like I said, I do believe in the machine economy, the agentic economy, all of that. That all helps out with peak. So I'm a big
Bro.
believer in peak.
If I think peak is like if you betting on something and if you're betting on we having an altcoin season and you go look at the peak chart, that's where you actually want to buy a chart. Like the
Agreed.
fundamentals, the team, the building, the shipping, the executing, what they're doing with Ayuki and all of that. And then the fact that the price hasn't exploded yet. Do your research on peak, guys. Do your research on Ayuki too. They got real
You could
robots.
say Tao. I'm not gonna lie. You can't. You're
I
not
am
going
gonna
wrong
say
with
that.
Tao.
I
No, I'm
am gonna
looking at the
say
comment. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the comment. I'm looking at the comment. I'm like, you can't go wrong with Tao. If you,
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be in there. I'm gonna be in town
bro,
in a
Tao was at $4, bro. Oh my god.
It's, okay, so AOKG top five.
my top five. Um, I say Sui Soul, Pulse. Um, what else? What else? Meme coins too are just like
Like you know your top
bomb
five convictional plays right now, the ones that you would bet the house on going into the last leg,
going into
potential last leg, because some people believe we're in a super cycle. I think he
this leg. I say so, bro. I don't want to influence I don't want to influence everybody. Just like
I
just go
mean,
there
you
on
ain't
the
got no mid caps, you know. Maybe you got a
so, but
mid cap that you're looking at. Maybe you got a low cap that you're looking at. Something
mm,
10 million, 20 million. It don't got to be too degen.
ugh,
Just
man,
post.
ooh, man.
Well, it's all good. We'll come back to you. Connor, what you
Yeah,
got?
yeah.
Top
Come
five.
back to me, kind of. Yeah,
All right, bro. Top five. That's a great question. So this is gonna be a mix, but yeah, number one, I'd say utility wise, definitely BitTensor. I mean, come on, BitTensor, that ecosystem they have, even though there's stuff going on with it, it prices
Oh
down,
shit.
lots of complaining, but
Sorry.
no, you're good. BitTensor, I think, is still a powerhouse. It's not going anywhere. Number two, I still think is Mobcoin, like
Uh oh.
yeah, it's meme coin. I just think the best ETH betas going forward are probably one of the best places to park capital. Not financial advice, of course, but I think Mog is still one of the top meme coins to be allocated to. One of the most organic communities, has been around for over a year, almost 2 years. It's I think it's easily one of the best ETH betas. Number three, though, EA, I agree with you, bro. Zora.
Mm,
Zora going forward, I think, has a ton of stuff to keep pushing it. When you got the entire base app now basically pushing this entire new app with Zora's infrastructure underneath it. It's basically free marketing for Zora from the entire base team going forward. Plus, we're seeing liquidity starting to drive into creator tokens. And
mm.
I think at some point, if we do get creator tokens to get traction, like you said, with different people coming into it, all it's going to do is drive traction straight into Zora's token. Even though obviously it's already up a few X's, it's got to pull back. It will chop for a bit, especially if ETH wants to come down short term too. But Zora, I think, just as an ecosystem with its tokenomics, I really don't see it not having at least another good sized leg up over the next couple of weeks or so, maybe even shorter term. Number four, you know, I've actually been looking into new narratives, new coins. It would be something in DeSci called Bio Token.
Hmm.
Bio was actually going to be one of my favorite newer coins, but tokenomics lately have been really throwing me off with stuff. When you got some sort of inflationary mechanisms and just massive unlocks hitting the market, to me, it's been kind of throwing me off. So I would put Bio as actually one I'm really bullish on, but their tokenomics throwing me off lately. But aside from that, number four, I would have to put Ray on base.
That's been going crazy.
Right? Yeah, bro. I don't
I
know.
do. I
Ray
do
is.
want to change my last pick from Peak though. I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna let Cotter finish because one of my guys texted me telling me I'm bugging. I gotta tell him about Arrow, but I'm gonna let Cotter
Oh,
go.
Arrow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Ray. I think is a powerhouse. The way that they're tackling crypto and AI is something I actually want to reach out to the team because I'm curious to like learn way more in depth from them. But the way that they're tackling crypto and AI, to me, it seems like they're just 10 steps ahead of 90% of AI projects in the space. But I mean, the chart too is I've never seen a chart just trend upwards like that and still holding very good levels. It's I think Ray's a powerhouse. I think it's at 100 something million right now. I'd say it's definitely up there, and I never want to recommend anyone to be top blasting, throwing capital in at an all time high, but wait for any sort of dips on stuff. But I think Ray is a very strong project as well. Number five. I mean, that's a great question because lately the way that I've been focusing on stuff is actually through tokenomics. Is like also EA too. You're talking about virtual. I would also put virtual too, but I feel like I've been losing a lot of conviction in virtual's entire ecosystem lately because I was huge on that back in September, October, just finding all these AI agents. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with them lately. Um, virtual would still be a powerhouse too.
I
But
agree. They could still be a powerhouse. I think the messed up thing is people are still like they hung up about the little porn stuff that they almost dropped. That's
Yeah.
one.
yeah, right.
And the Genesis launches is another thing. They got a bunch of hate from that, especially when they found out one of the creators was getting more points than other creators, things like that. So yeah, that's
True.
why I also didn't put them up there. I still do like them overall. Um, it's just that it doesn't look like people really want to invest in virtuals anymore. Again, it's still going to be up there. It's a big dog right now. But for
Yeah, for
me, I'm
sure.
gonna replace Peak with Aerodrome because Aerodrome simply, if we're going by what I've been saying about the whole base thesis and Coinbase, you got the one and only DEX that's honestly integrated into the biggest platform, biggest retail platform.
Yeah,
New coins that's going to get listed onto Arrow immediately gets pretty much exposure to Coinbase ecosystem. So that's
That's gonna be
just
crazy.
it creates a whole different flywheel for the whole Arrow drone ecosystem.
true, true. Yeah, just to finish up too, I think number five though, one project I absolutely love. I almost forgot. I don't know how. Is literally Aoki. Aoki is a robotics play because I love to look at coins that are in narratives that aren't actually a narrative yet. Thing with Aoki, one of the worst charts I've seen lately, and that gets me mad because they do have very consistent unlocks. Like I was talking about earlier, that is something that really has been throwing me off in the market lately is just tokenomics, and it's like I understand with many projects the way that they have to build, they're not building for investors. Most are building for their ecosystems to benefit new people coming in, to benefit new projects, to pay for teams, to pay for this, that, the other thing, marketing. It's like I understand many projects they have to build their tokenomics out in certain ways, especially if they don't really have VCs or crazy funding. But from an investment standpoint, it's very difficult to find projects that kind of align both with investors and the tokenomics. So, I mean, Aoki, I think fundamentally is one of the best projects in the market, but the tokenomics are something I put aside for a long time. But obviously, like the charts, and it's not just tokenomics, but that's something I would say with Aoki because I mean, it is absolutely at a bottom,
I
which is
love
the
Aki, man.
enter.
What is that?
So
Aki,
Yeah, what is it?
Aoki is focusing on the navigation for robotics. To simply put it.
decentralizing. You know how Niantic's brought out. No, what was the company brought out Niantic for their geolocation?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Aki's
yeah.
doing that pretty much decentralized.
You talking about AUKI?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's on my top five. I pronounce it differently.
I think it's
I
just
say
we're too
Ayuki.
early for that one though.
Oh,
No, bro, they got real robots. That's what I was saying earlier.
No, I know. I think that's a narrative that's like it's going to be hot, but I think we're early for right now. I think like if we go into 2026, maybe 2027, maybe there's going to be more waves coming to it. That's also why I pulled back on the peak a little
true.
bit.
Yeah, cause bro, it's so much. I like so me personally, I like coins that generate revenue, right? Because that opens up to
Yes.
token
Fact.
buybacks and stuff like that. So like I'm big on Alki. I'm big on autos. I don't know if y'all ever heard of autos.
Yep.
Uh yeah, they're doing like the whole Toro of crypto, like shit like that, like Tau, right? For instance, that's an AI marketplace. So they already got subnets that compete with Microsoft, Google, with like LLMs and compute power, right? Anything AI needs compute power. So like if you got a marketplace that's shilling, that's serving compute power, in a way more cost efficient while being decentralized, I think there's an opportunity there because AI is only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. It's only going to need more electricity. Zebek, ZBCN, is attacking the payroll industry. This is something that we've never seen in crypto, right? Like, if you ever had a regular job, you probably logged into ADP. That's going to be swapped out for Zebek if everything is executed correctly, right? Allowing people to get paid by the second, by the minute. You know what I mean? And have
Yeah.
personal cards where you can spend crypto any and everywhere from multiple chains. So like I like tokens that are attacking a niche and solving a problem, right? Especially in this last leg. Like y'all was saying, we don't gotta be too degen. We don't gotta throw shit at the wall. Like whatever's been working, it's probably gonna work in this last leg. You know what I'm saying? So just lock into where the strength is and buy shit you can really understand and have conviction. Anything else outside of that, in my opinion, is gambling. I'm a gamble though. I'm a gamble on some memes. I'm a gamble on some
Yep.
beads and shit. I don't.
Nice.
But I
And
got stable coins put away from that, and I understand that I can lose that money. So if you have that understanding, cool. I think the biggest thing in this area that we're in crypto right now, because I don't like to say last leg, but most importantly, like AOKG said, have a consistent income, man. Like if you
yes,
got a consistent income, you'll never not make it in crypto. The problem is people run out of money, the time
yeah,
capitulation, or real shit happens in life, right? Emergency, car note, mortgage, whatever,
and
or they fuck
and that
around and go
does
full time
induce
Web3.
buyer's fatigue, like you said, like you would always say, the buyer's fatigue, going
Oh
through
yeah.
all these dilemmas in life, and you spending all this money, you're DCing, and then next thing you know, your overhead is just more than your overhead for
Yeah.
investing is just more than what you're saving.
Yeah.
So it has to be balanced. You have to be you have to be realistic, right?
Facts. You
And
don't want that selling pressure on your head.
mm-hmm.
You want to
And
just be able
another
to
thing
navigate in crypto.
is the Zebek thing. I've been hearing y'all talk about it a lot, and since I started investing in 2023, y'all, I'm a late bloomer. Okay, forgive me. All right. One thing that I would like to see with these apps and these crypto payments is that they onboard everybody as a business, as a LLC. So as soon as you make an account, you're using like a new email and you automatically get an EIN. And as you get paid from your job, it registers as a loan, as you taking out a loan as a business, right? So that you won't have to worry about taxes and anything that you spend money on with that card when you go to work, when you go out to eat, it'll be considered as a business expense, right? And then you could just use all of that stuff as a tax write-off. If they can incorporate that into it, that would be like a whole new future of finance. That's what I want to see. I want to see people be liberated if they're gonna take crypto and bridge it on into, you know, government regulated businesses. For all y'all out there, I hope that didn't go off y'all head.
Nah, I can see what you're saying. You can, it's like, you buy or you get paid in crypto, or you account on crypto, and you can use your EIN opposed to it's something like that, right? Like, I think
Yes.
I think if you go in a bank, right, to get a loan, right, you gotta either use your social or you gotta use your EIN, correct? Am I? Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta get to get like a business loan or whatever. But
Yep.
in crypto, it's a little bit more decentralized. So I guess
Yeah.
somebody is developing that right now, where you can get a loan
Yeah,
if you're trying
man.
to build something. It's probably already out there. I just don't know about it. I don't know if you guys do that type of shit, but I'm
Fact.
not that deep into
Not sure.
DeFi yet.
I I just say, like, if you go get a $30,000 loan, or let's say you get paid by your job in a loan format on a daily, you don't have to pay loans back. You don't owe any money on taxes when it comes to loan, because that's not your money. It's borrowed money. So if that was due to you in credit, and you could claim that on your taxes, it's just null. You don't have no worries. And then let's say in the app, you just file your taxes in the app, right? And it's just like, oh well, I made money because I suffer from a business loss. That's something that can be done, and it
Yeah, I think
should
so
be
too.
done.
That'd be the ultimate bridge between Web 2 and Web 3 and small businesses. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
that's it, guys. We gonna do this an hour. Hey, chat. This is every Friday. We try to keep these guys together for every Friday. We're gonna work to get Crypto Princess up here because she's supposed to be also part of the panel. We'll work on some timing. You know what I'm saying? Feel free
Yep.
after the video to tell me. You know what I'm saying? Best times you think we should do the show. But we're gonna do this on Friday. We're trying to make sure everybody's schedule, because these some busy guys. I'm a busy guy. She's a busy girl. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure everybody's tapped in. Hopefully y'all picked up some alpha, learned something today, have fun, enjoyed the entertainment. This is all just entertainment. None of this is financial advice. We just talk to cameras and wear crypto shirts and shit. You feel me? Any last words from my guys on the panel before we shut it down?
Yeah, I just want to say again, Millie, appreciate you having me on. It's nice to meet you guys too. And yeah, I'm excited to keep doing this stuff.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir. I'm definitely excited to keep doing this. Thank you to Millie for organizing this, and y'all better start just preparing yourselves. That's all I gotta say.
Real shit.
If it's if
Yo,
it's the end, make sure you prepare for it. If it's extended, make sure you prepare for it as well.
Awesome, man.
yeah, great
It
point.
was great being up here with all three of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Straight alpha males, man. I loved everything that I heard from each one of y'all. It just makes me more interested in the other blockchains. Your strategy for taking profits, your outlook on utility memes, blue chips. It's been a overwhelming great experience. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I've been reading the chat the whole time, so don't think we're ignoring y'all.
Yeah, shout out
Um,
chat too.
and I know I didn't give out my plays, but you guys take a look at the market, go on Twitter, search up the tokens that dropped last year, right? And just see if they're building a community. And hopefully you understand the narrative going into the future if you're into memes, okay? And yeah, man, be careful out there. Shout out to Crypto Princess.
Hey, chat. W's in the chat, man. I'm gonna try to put some pressure on these guys, including myself, man, so we can do some giveaways or something next Friday. Make sure y'all go check out all their channels. Connor on Chain, everything altcoin, and AOKD over there on X. Touch grass, man. Tell a family member you love them, and make sure you stay hydrated out there. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you in the next one.